Greetings to all my dear friends. I am Dr. R. Preet, working as assistant professor in the School of Computer Science and Engineering in VIT Chennai. So today we are going to look upon the screen capturing tool which is known as OBS. So it is mainly used to capture the videos with respect to the system, where I am going to open the application, and the application will be getting recorded, as well as we can add an source in which while we are going to take the classes, our video will be getting recorded, and it can be added and embedded with the video, and it will be added simultaneously while explaining the contents. So here today this OBS tool is an open source tool, so we will be looking over this. Let us go into the OBS tool in detail. Fine. Now I am going into this OBS tool. So the OBS tool will generally look like this. So it will be in a concentric way of multiple same views getting replicated. We can download this OBS in obsproject.com/download. So this is the web link where you can download it. While downloading, after clicking this download installer, it will directly redirect to the exact operating system in which your current OS is being working on. If it is going to be a 64-bit operating system, then it will be directly redirected to a installer setup version that is related to a 64-bit. So mine is a 64-bit, so automatically it got downloaded as a tool, and it will be taking some 3 to 5 minutes to get installed over there, and it is purely open source, so you can use it for free. And as soon as you can see, this will be my window. So this will be the OBS window. As I said, these are to be the source, which I have termed as submodules or the sublinks. So here there can be multiple links or sources where I can take. Let us say I can take a browser, an image in a format of JPG or PNG also, and I can take in addition to my display capture as well as my video capture, I can take additional things also in the same window. But here for recording purpose, while we are going to record the sessions with respect to our theory class or lab class with students, we will be using only the display capture as well as the video capture. So display capture will be capturing the current application which you are pertaining to use, and the video capture will be useful to capture your video, so that I can place this this rectangular box which displays this display source. So this will be my display source, and this rectangular window corresponds to the video source. So before starting the recording, I can place this window anywhere within this red color boundary region. So it may be in the right top corner or in the left top corner. I have kept it in the left bottom corner, so that my major contents are the views, or it is going to be accompanied, or it is the major slide content is going to be in my right hand part of this window, so that I have kept my video source in the left bottom. It may be vice versa, based upon the content part of our application and the focus area which we are pertaining to do. We can move the video source window. It can be in any place within this red color boundary region. So before starting the recording, we will be going and placing the video source in the exact location where we are supposed to do. So that will be a fine thing. Then as soon as adding these display capture as well as the video capture, right? So it will be asking for, let us say I am going to add a new thing. So it will be asking for a new device. I have given it as a disp1. So if I am going to add another one display thing, then it is going to be disp2 like this. So I can do. Similarly, if I am going to add a video capture, then it will be asking for a name. After giving this, let us say I am going to name it as one of 2. After giving this, it will ask for which is the device. Now my system is a HP laptop, so the HP webcam is the integrated part which is embedded, which comes with my system. So it is having a device with HP webcam. if I am going to use a third party vendor or a USB based webcam, then its respective details will be displayed over there. So I can toggle and I can select the respective device of the webcam which is to be used. Then if I am using a high end webcam, let us say a Logitech HD webcam, then I will be getting the option of selecting the resolution also. In general, the MOOC courses or the video files which we are recording should be of in the resolution type of 1920 x 1720 type. So it is the prescribed version, so that the contents will be clear, and it is the mostly followed version by all the MOOC platforms and the counterparts, those who are working on this. So this will be this can be selected over there in the resolution part, and these things are if we want to save it in a particular video format, that can be also selected, but I have not given here. It's already I have opted my HP webcam device in zone 1, so already it is busy in that process. So here it is not getting shown here. Otherwise a preview window will be shown with respect to my current picture, or the camera's view can be viewed, so that before starting our video we can make the changes with respect to our background. So how it will be looking like in our video can be given as in a preview pan here, and it can be visible, it can be seen over here, right? So now I am making it cancel. So now these are the basic things which are going to be useful. And another one main thing here which is to be noted is there are a concept known as hotkeys. So it is going to use upon with the shortcuts. Let us say how we are going to use in a Microsoft Word of control copy for control plus C, and for paste it will be control plus V. Similarly, I will be going to see some of the settings which will be useful while I am in another window, like Alt tab to toggle between two tabs. Here I will be using some of the hotkeys. So I am going into the settings window, and there is a sub tab which is known as hotkeys, and here I have given for start recording it is control Q, and for stop recording control W. So when I am in my desktop page, or when I am in my any other application, I don't need to switch over to this OBS tool window to start the video processing or to start recording process. So I can be in any other window or in any other application by having this in an active opened form, and I have been minimized it. I can directly use this control plus Q key, which can be pressed to start recording, and if I need to stop, I will be using control plus A, and to unpause to resume the recording operation it is control plus S, and to stop the recording as soon as my overall lecture is going to be completed, if it gets completed, I will be clicking control plus W, right? So this is how I have done or set up the keys here. So we can add multiple keys also. So by clicking this we can have the keys. So now I have already given these are user defined. So as per our convenience we can give the hotkeys. So after this if you are going to close, it will ask for whether to save the settings, so you can save it, and these are the main things which it is to be used. With respect to OBS, it can be used in Linux as well as in the Windows, so that it is having an interoperability, so that it can be used in both versions of the OS. If you are going to use Apple systems, then QuickTime Player is there, which is an naive version which will be coming with an Apple users when I am going to use an Mac OS. So there also we can use this, but QuickTime Player is a much more customized version which is specifically designed only for the Apple users, those who are going to use Mac OS. So in other than this, after completing the lecture or after the video is being recorded, if we are going to edit some of the portions which we feel that it should not be published or telecast, then there are some open source video editing tools also, so that can be also done. I think so the other batch will be working over it, those who are looking for video editing, so that can be also done. and to reduce or to compress the confined video or the recorded video which we have done. We can use a software which is known as Handbrake. Again, it is going to be open source and it is totally user friendly. So it can reduce the quality of the file size of the entire video or the recording without having any technical glitches or reduction in the quality of the video. So the quality will be preserved at most and the file size will be also getting reduced, which is going to be another one useful content in this. So these are the main things which are to be which are the highlights and the working process of the OBS. So once again I thank all my friends to listening to this video. I hope this will be useful to all of you. Thank you.